Hi, my name is Dearbhla and I'm a career coach, and I've been giving careers advice since 1999 and I love it. And today I'm going to talk to you about a very important time in young people's lives. Today all over the world, or at this time of year, young people are looking at moving on to college, and it's an exciting time for them, and it's a huge transition. And you as parents can do many things to make that transition an easy process. Today I'm going to share with you 5 things that you as parents can do to help your teenager or your son or daughter ease into college life. Before I go there, I'd like to say that the first 6 weeks are crucial to transitioning into college life. The first 6 weeks are a period of adjustment, settling in, and even partying. Now, young people may be very excited about their new environments and new horizons, and many young people might get carried away by the social life both on and off campus, and this is normal. So I'd like to move on to my first tip, and my first tip is all about the orientation. Now, it is crucial that your young son or daughter attends orientation. This is a very important start to college life. And student advisors tell me that it's important, it sounds pretty basic, that they bring a pen and a piece of paper and take some notes. At the orientation, they will be given an overview of academic learning, and they will be able to get to grips with the requirements of academic learning. At the orientation as well, they may find out what supports are available for them at college. They may be given a tour of the campus, and they may be given an insight into the library systems and really in general the systems at university. The orientation is a wonderful time to make new friends and establish a few new connections. My second point is all about independent learning. Now, college life really affords young people autonomy and freedom that they've never had before. When your son and daughter were in high school or in secondary school, it's a very structured environment and a very spoon-fed environment, and young people are very supported by their teachers. And then they're moving off to college, where they may have a few classes a week and huge amounts of unstructured time. And you as a parent may not be living with them, and you might not be able to kind of shout up the stairs and tell them to get down and do their homework. You won't be able to hover over their every move. So I think at this point it would be good to ask your son or daughter, how are they going to structure their time? How are they going to take responsibility for their learning? And how are they going to prioritise their learning? In the middle of all of this as well, your son or daughter will be communicating directly with their lecturers and professors. It's not going to be a case of, like school, maybe ringing home to the parent. So it would be good if your son or daughter kind of got to know their professors, chatted to their professors, put their hand up in class, volunteered and so on. And I think as well as this, it's good at this time of year to recognise that deadlines are deadlines at university. Like if your son or daughter has an essay that's due at 5 o'clock on a Friday, that's 5 o'clock on a Friday. It's not 6 o'clock on a Friday, and it's not a Monday morning. So I think those things are important to bear in mind. My third point is all about belonging. Your son or daughter needs to create a new sense of belonging in their new environment. Now, when young people were in secondary school or high school, they might have had a very strong sense of belonging and community. Their group of friends, their team that they played for, or maybe they absolutely loved their school. And they may be moving away from home and into a whole new environment without the friends they had since they were very young. In order to create a sense of belonging, you as parents can really encourage them to get stuck in to college life, to get stuck in and join clubs and societies. Now, during Freshers Week, they'll be introduced to clubs and societies. It's good for them to join them. It's good for them to maybe get involved in student union or maybe continue their own hobbies while they're at college. Clubs and societies are great vehicles for growth, and they also offer a great community. Young people can build up their transferable skills, they can learn leadership skills, communication skills, problem-solving skills, and so on. Now, when they emerge as graduates, employers love this. They love to see somebody who has developed themselves along the way. And all in all, it's so important that young people have a sense of life-work balance while at college. My fourth tip is all about independence. Now, for some teenagers moving away from home, they may feel homesick and they may feel lonely. For others, they may be very excited about their newfound environments. But as a parent, if your teenager is feeling homesick or lonely, living away from home, it's good to acknowledge those feelings. And I think it's good to just name them and look at how you're going to support them. You could negotiate how often you're going to communicate, whether you're going to Skype, whether you're going to FaceTime, and yet at the same time, it's key that they learn to be independent. And it's good for you as a parent not to hover over their every move. We hear these days of helicopter parents who check in with their kids all the time, what they had for their dinner or what they were having for their tea and so on. But it's important really to encourage independence along the way. Even if your teenager's going to college while living at home, it's good to renegotiate house rules. It's good too to give them more responsibility too and encourage independence. My fifth and final point is that it's really important for you as parents and your son and daughter to recognise that coping skills are as important as academic grades. Now these days I'm hearing from principals, from lecturers and from parents that there's a great deal of anxiety and young people maybe are finding it hard to cope. In order for us to cope, it's really important that our physical needs are being met. In order for our brains to work and to perform well, it's also important that our physical needs are being met. So I think it's good for young people to look at, are they getting sufficient rest? Are they getting the right food? It's just not all about pot noodles. Are they getting water? Are they being hydrated? Are they getting the sleep? Are they getting the air? Are they getting the exercise? And so on. I think also it's good for young people to unplug from social media. These days we're all kind of plugged into the internet or plugged into social media. And I've heard at London, I was at a conference recently, and student advisors across the UK were telling me that young people were finding it very hard to focus in lectures. They were maybe falling asleep and they were really exhausted because they weren't getting proper sleep throughout the night. So I think it's good to look at that as well. In addition to their physical needs, it's good too for young people's sense of well-being and confidence and development to set small goals. Each term or each semester, young people could set a few targets for themselves. It could be learning to drive, could be getting a part-time job, it could even be doing a couch to 5k. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it really gives them something to aim for. As a parent, it's really important to keep the doors of communication open. If your son or daughter is stressed or anxious, it's good to acknowledge it, but it's also good if they access the student services. Every university has a good student service. These include careers service, a free counselling service, a chaplaincy service, a medical service. Some colleges even have physiotherapists. Now, if your son or daughter has a disability or has a learning need, it's good to keep in touch with the disability officer and to get those supports put in place. It's actually a great time for young people going to college who have a disability or have a learning need, because there's great supports there. Now I'd like to leave you with the wise words of a famous man called Dr. Seuss. And I remember getting this book when I was going to college. Actually, I went to college in Japan many years ago, and I received the book called Oh, the Places You'll Go. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you're the guy who'll decide where to go. Now, I believe Dr. Seuss is telling us here to trust in ourselves, to believe in ourselves, and to know that it will all be okay, that it'll all unfold. As parents, I feel it's very important that you teach your son or daughter to believe in themselves and that their career will unfold as they grow. Thank you.